Oh, I'm sorry, Senate Republicans. I'm sorry, you're back from vacation now? You want me to stop drinking my wine so you could roll out your new skinny bill tonight? Yes, that's what they did. So breaking news from Washington, the Senate is back from their 70-day vacation. By the way, they have another vacation coming up on October 9th, and they rolled out their stimulus skinny bill this afternoon. Way to do it. Way to do it, my friends. Bigger and better? No, not so close. Let's go through some of the details of this new brand new skinny bill. So just about an hour ago, Senate Republicans rolled this out. It's a new slimmed down stimulus plan on this Tuesday. Here's what it includes. It includes $300 for federal unemployment benefits, what basically President Trump tried to do through his executive order, and a lot of the states got on board and some didn't, and it's kind of a mess, and it only lasts for a few weeks. This would run through December, so that's a nice little piece. It's still half of what the $600 was just a few weeks ago, and it's $257 billion in small business aid. So an extension of those PPP loan programs, maybe even a second round of those PPP loan programs. It leaves out a second round, though, of direct stimulus payments, $1,200 to the American people. Gone. That is not in this bill. Sorry. They don't think that you're worth it. They don't think that that's necessary. We don't need it. But we're happy to bail out our big corporate friends. More money for them, more money for Wall Street. But you, the American worker who's relying on that money. And by the way, the White House and everyone else has praised those $1,200 stimulus checks. We know how effective they were for keeping people out of poverty. Not necessary. Not gonna do it. Sorry. Democrats are likely, of course, to block this bill. They think that is, as Nancy Pelosi has called it, emaciated. Well, she's called it anorexic. Chuck Schumer's called it emaciated. Here is what Nancy Pelosi had to say about it. She called it fraudulent just a few minutes ago. Listen.
And Madam Speaker, that leads me exactly to the question, is there a deal, even though you might not want to take the deal, is there any deal you could take it off from the Republicans? I mean, you and the minority leader, Chuck Schumer, said today it's an emaciated bill. Is there a bill at all even for an emaciated bill? Because as you said, some people say not $1.
Well, what Senator McConnell put forth is fraudulent. It is, as Leader Schumer said, emaciated. It's not, they call it a skinny bill, and he calls it an emaciated bill, and I join him in that. It's only a check the box so that some of his endangered Republican senators can go home and say, well, see, I tried. But it isn't trying. It's not even an attempt to do the right thing. And Mitch McConnell knows that because he has to satisfy those Republicans in his caucus who don't want to spend one more dollar, whether it's feeding the food insecure children in our country, saving their families from eviction, stopping the dismantling of the Postal Service so that people can vote without risking their health, again, first and foremost, crushing the virus and putting money into the pockets of the American people. What they have is so meager that it insults the intelligence of the American people, does not solve the problem, and it is not. Again, we know that we have to compromise. We know we have to negotiate in order to reach an agreement. We all want an agreement. Make no mistake about that. But get serious, get real, Mitch McConnell.
Well, let's talk about what...
He paused. He pushed the pause. Remember, May 15th, when we passed our bill, he pushed the pause button. It wasn't until the last few weeks that he's now even coming up with a suggestion. In that time, nearly 5 million more people have become infected since he pushed the pause button, and nearly over 100,000 people have died.
Well, the reason Democrats are likely to block this bill is because it's small ball. It doesn't cover direct stimulus checks for the American people. There's nothing in here for state and local governments. The list goes on what it does not include. So it's, again, small potatoes. And the issue comes down to Mitch McConnell and his merry band of Republicans, 20 or so, that said that they would not vote for anything. So this would have to include Democratic support in the Senate for this to go anywhere. And, of course, the House of Representatives would have to then vote on it as well before it ever gets to the president's desk. Where is the presidential leadership on this, by the way, when the president said just a few weeks ago, bigger and better than what the Democrats want? Well, Democrats wanted $3.3 trillion in stimulus funding. $3.3 trillion. They dropped it down to 2.2. And now Republicans roll this out? a few $100 billion, and it doesn't even address the hardest hit Americans, those in the hospitality sector, those for the lowest income workers. That's specifically what Mitch McConnell has talked about a number of times over the past few weeks. We have to hit the hospitality service workers. Not there. Not going to do it. There is your Tuesday night stimulus update. A skinny bill from Republicans likely to go nowhere if you listen to what Nancy Pelosi said in calling it fraudulent. Of course, she wants some big liberal package bailouts, of course, for city and states. We'll see if they come together on this. But that is your update. Do not forget, everyone, to subscribe to our morning newsletter. We put a lot of work into it. You can read it in about 5 minutes. It's totally free. And we're going to be covering this first thing in the morning. So make sure that it hits your inbox first thing in the morning. You can enjoy it while you're drinking a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. We'll see you next time. That's good. Back to vacation now. Oh, wait a second. I'm not on vacation. I'm not the Senate. I'm sorry. I work for a living.